Let me speak to one other issue, the GDP, and whether or not we are in a recession. Both Chairman Powell and many of the significant banking personnel and economists say we're not in a recession. Let me just give you
a base contraction in the economy. And even if that number is negative, we are not in a recession now.
And certainly in terms of the technical definition, it's not a recession. The technical definition considers a much broader spectrum of data points.
The idea that 2 quarters of negative GDP growth is a technical definition of a recession is wrong.
If things are going so great, though, then why is it the White House officials are trying to redefine recession?
No, we're not redefining recession.
If we all understand a recession to be 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth in a row, and then you have White House officials come up here to say, no, that's not what a recession is. It's something else. How is that not redefining recession?
Government's own legislation defines a recession as the economy shrinking for 2 straight quarters, a total of 6 months, through gross domestic product.
The definition of a recession, a technical recession, is a decline of gross domestic product, or GDP, for 2 consecutive quarters.
Quote, the White House is pretty obviously right that even 2 quarters of shrinking GDP would not show the economy is currently in recession. That's the word from Ben White, assuming he's real, wrote in Politico, which unfortunately is, and we're quoting, I'm sorry to report that the conditions are right for a slide in gross domestic product growth that lasts at least 2 quarters, comma, the technical definition of recession. Ooh, Ben White. Could that be the same Ben White, the same Politico? Could be. And then in January of this year, which is 2022, we think, the AP reported the same thing, and we're quoting, Mexico's economy entered a technical recession at the end of last year with 2 consecutive quarters of contraction. Oh, wow. So it turns out that was the definition prior to 2 weeks ago. In fact, it's been the definition for decades. In fact, you'll find it in every economic textbook ever written. It's all over the archives, the AP, which, because we're paid to do it, we slog through today. Here's one example. Quote, French economy falls back into recession, the AP reported back in 2013. Here's a direct quote from the article. A recession is defined as 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth. Whoa! Whoa! You're not insane! No one dosed you! You're not hallucinating. Even CNN used to say this. As CNN White House correspondent John Harwood wrote on August 20th, 2019, back during Trump when Big Orange ran things, and we're quoting, recession equals economy shrinks for 2 quarters. Oh, wow. In fact, not to belabor the point, even Brian Deese, who is now the top White House economic advisor,